Alright, those straps look good. Yep, look good. Ready to go. Well, hey there, welcome back to Stone Valley on Farming Simulator 22. Got a couple things here on the trailer. Got the corn header and a couple of boxes of seeds. We're going to run the seeds across the area over to where Tiny is located. He is actually handling a little, well, I was going to say a little seeding contract, but it's actually a fairly decent sized seeding contract. And he's about out of seeds. He called me a few minutes ago, let me know he was getting low, and asked if I could bring some seeds over. And so that's what we're going to do, is bring those down to him. I guess we're going to have to just scoop these out with a 5-gallon bucket and put them into the seeder. It shouldn't take too long. You see over there in the Alice Chalmers? Randy. So, Randy is now working for me. At least for now. What happened is, well, he couldn't pay Tiny for the work that he had done on his truck. And then he couldn't pay for his insurance. He hadn't had a job in a while, didn't have any income. He blew all the money he borrowed from the bank. So Tiny, he's a good fella. I tell you what, he will do just about anything for anybody. So he went ahead and fixed Randy's truck, got it back in working order. But what I did is I went ahead and I covered the cost of repairs. I paid Tiny for that and his time. And I told Randy that in order to get his truck back and to start earning enough money so that he can drive again, he's going to come work for me. Now we're going to work on my farm, and he's going to do the tasks that I assigned to him, and he's going to go a couple weeks without pay. That's what it's going to cost to cover what he owes me, and then after that he can work. We'll pay him so he can get some steady income back and get his insurance back so he can start driving again. So that presents another problem, is how does he get over to the farm to do the work? Well, to make a long story short, we actually ended up with a little bit of a hiccup with the paperwork on the house. We had some delays, and once we finally got that straightened out, it actually all had to do with those liens that Randy had put on the property. So once we got those cleared out, we were able to get the paperwork done. And so Miss Betty got moved out. Randy helped her move out. Couldn't believe that. Very nice of him. So she has all moved down to Florida, and so we actually just got moved into the house. So it hadn't gone as quickly as I anticipated. So we haven't got too much done. It's been kind of slow and kind of quiet around the place. So let me get this seeder filled up here real quick, and then we'll talk about a little bit more. Alright, let's see if I can get turned around here. We got the seeder filled up there, and Tiny is back to it. He is almost done with that field. So, yeah, it took a little while to get into the house after we got everything settled and finally got moved in. Ended up letting Randy stay at the old house we have there on the cow farm. So he has moved in there temporarily. Hopefully temporarily. He's going to stay there so that he can work around the farm. He doesn't have to worry about driving. And so that's what we're doing. We've got to still move a lot of equipment over. I've already moved the combine, but we're moving the header over today. And believe it or not, you'll never guess what showed back up at the shop. Never guess. Now, I'm not going to spill the beans here. We'll leave that as a little surprise for later on. But, yep, Something has returned. I don't think Randy's going to be too happy about it. Alright, let's get this combine moved out of here. We're going to get the header taken off this trailer here. Now we are in March. We've made it to March, and I need to think about doing a little bit of planting here pretty soon. What I believe I'm going to do is we're going to plant some corn again down there at the other farm. And the reason being is I want to try to, this year, cut some for silage finally. Up here, I haven't decided yet. I may go back with sunflowers, or I may just plant some corn that we can harvest here with the combine. I wasn't real pleased with the yield on the sunflowers and how much or how little we made from it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to buy a different header at this point. Trying to be a little frugal with my money. Things have not gone quite as planned last year, and I kind of got ahead of myself. I know I had mentioned that I wanted to go slow over here at Stone Valley. Maybe focus on grass work, silage, things like that, and get built up. But then I kind of got roped into getting a combine and everything because of Randy. So here we are. So I want to slow back down just a little bit. I don't want to get ahead of myself, so trying not to have to buy another header for the combine. But I've also thought about planting a few little potato patches, maybe over there beside the fruit stand with that little patch, maybe the patch down there behind the shed. Just do a small little bit of potatoes, not a whole lot. Old Randy out there driving where he's already fertilized. Oh boy, at least he's made it around the field once. Well, at least he's made it around the field once. So yeah, I'm thinking about here doing a little patch of potatoes, and then maybe one there in the back of the farm. But what have we got done here lately? We were able to actually spread a little bit of slurry down on the fields back there. And then we did do a little bit of plowing. The two cornfields back there, we got plowed. You see, the alfalfa is actually looking really good. It's growing, looking good. But we got the contracts in, so we had to switch gears and get the planter hooked up to the large Kubota. And then we picked up a fertilizing contract, so Randy has the Alice Chalmers out there. But actually don't know why I pulled the truck that far up. The shop called and told me they had something arrive that I may be interested in. So I went up there yesterday and bought it. Yeah, it was something that I should have had a long time ago. And having this now is going to actually open up a few more avenues on equipment, size of equipment. So now that we have this new piece of machinery, we can do a little bit more around the farm. I grabbed both of those at once. Nope, it fell off the end of the forks there. So you notice I am using some of the seeds that I had stored up from last year, or made with my seed treating auger. Well, it actually is working out okay. I am using quite a few of them, but in the truck there, you notice the bed is covered. Actually ended up with quite a bit of seeds, more than would fit in these boxes. So I threw it in the back of the truck, and I've kept it under the shed with a tarp on it in storage. We have about 9,000 liters of seeds in the truck. So what my plan is, get through this planting season here. And then once I do that, we will sell the excess or possibly just store the excess. I'm not real sure. So I do have some seeds in the truck here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, we're going to head on up to the shop. We're going to load up the new piece of equipment, bring it down here to the farm. And then the next thing I need to do is try to go ahead and do a little bit of plowing because, well, I can actually plant the potatoes now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I don't know if the shop has anything I can rent to plant the potatoes. But if they don't, maybe they have something I can buy. So we'll see what they have. And we'll get all that down here back to the farm. Sorry about that. And we'll do a little plowing and hopefully get some taters in the ground. Alright, we are almost back down here to the farm. You notice I have a pallet of potatoes on the trailer, but no potato planter. Well, I do have a potato planter. We actually was able to lease one from the shop. It's small, but for what we have to do, I think it'll be just fine. And, well, this trailer is not quite wide enough to haul something with duals on it. So, wasn't able to get it on the trailer, so one of the shop workers drove it down for me, and one of their buddies picked them up. They headed off to lunch. Yeah, we did. Randy's old case, Magnum. We got it back. Sure did. It looks like Tiny has been down here. Must have filled up the cedar. Huh. He is almost out of seeds too. Yeah, we picked up this contract here. We're supposed to be planting some cotton for Mr. Sam here. So, man, he needs to get some rocks picked up out of that field. Oh, yeah, I see Tiny way over there. Way across the field in the corner. So, you know what? Let me get my phone out of the truck and call him. He's not moving. Let me make sure he's okay. Well, old Tiny, he's just fine. He was just chatting with the neighbors. So, we have the potato planter here, this small potato planter. Already filled it up with some potatoes. And we got the old Magnum back. Looks like it's been used a little bit more. But it's still in pretty good shape. Use a little bit of TLC. But all in all, it looks very much like the last time I seen it. So, we got us a little bit more horsepower on the farm. This tractor here has 249 horsepower, which makes it our most powerful tractor on the farm. So, that gives us a little bit more capability. Also up to 4 tractors. So, I don't know how that's going to work out. We do have plenty of tractors now, that is for sure. I'm wondering, do I need to plow this before I put these potatoes in the ground? We'll just go ahead and try a few here and see what happens. Yeah, it is not breaking the ground there. So, yep, we're going to need to plow it. Let's go ahead and get this moved off the field here. So since this is a stronger tractor and Tiny has the next largest tractor out there, we're going to hook up to the plow with this one. And as a matter of fact, the the M8 actually struggles with this plow a little bit. It pulls it along, but it is not pulling it great. We're getting a lot of wheel slip on it. So I don't know why it's rated for the right horsepower, but it just does not pull it very well. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go back here to this patch. We'll get this one plowed first. We can weave our way through the cow herd here. Let's see if I can... Oh, she is not even paying attention. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. That one's going to lay down in the... right in the middle of the cattle gap. I'll tell you what. Now, how'd you get out? Oh boy, these cows. Well, at least they don't run off. They stay near the food. So we'll just come back down here then, since the cows are not cooperating with me. See, Tiny is making his way around the field. I wonder where Randy is. I hadn't seen him. He's way across the field over there. I wonder what he's doing. There ain't no telling with that boy. Yeah, I was a little bit hesitant about hiring him on the farm here. But, you know, I'm trying to do the best I can to help him out. That's what neighbors do. Miss Betty has done a lot for me. So, trying to do the right thing. Hopefully it'll pay off at some point. So plowing these two little fields is not going to take very long at all. It's not a whole lot to them. We see some of the alfalfa seed that I planted down here. Looks like it's sprouted, but we're just going to turn that in. And a little extra nitrogen for the potatoes. Why ain't Randy? What is Randy doing? Let me see. Let me check my phone here real quick. Well, it turns out old Randy was sitting there in the tractor, what he claims was a break, watching some farming simulator guy on YouTube. Tell you what, I don't know about some folks, but he is back at it now. He actually didn't realize we had two parts to that field. He thought he was done, but he actually has a whole nother side of the field to go. So he's actually been running up the road just over there where the animal dealer is and picking up fertilizer, putting it on my account. I believe he's gone through 2 tanks so far, maybe 3. I can't remember what he said. Can't hardly understand the guy like it is. So yeah, that field is going through some fertilizer. As a matter of fact, between paying the diesel in the tractor and the fertilizer costs may not make very much on that contract at all. At least my help is free. Well, I guess it's not free. I've already had to pay for it. This little plow here actually rips through the soil really good. It is a good combination behind this tractor here. Alright, well let me go ahead and rip these couple more rows here. We'll get hooked up to the well actually I'll take the plow down and try to knock that other field out behind the shed. And then we'll see about getting a few potatoes planted. Hopefully Randy will be done with his contract by then. Can help out. And then Tiny, I think he's got a long ways to go. Maybe we'll put Randy over there in the cedar as well. Alright, just got the fields plowed up there. And I think I'm going to use the little Kubota here. It does not take much horsepower for that little potato planter. We use the little small Kubota we have here. We'll get hooked up and get to plant some taters. I think what I'll do is I'm going to come across here a couple rows to give me some room around these greenhouses. Very good. It is putting some taters in the ground. This is going to be a slow go. Ooh, doesn't do a whole lot at a time. But we'll get it done. Let me get moved over just a little bit more there. There we go. Very good. This is working out good. Actually much better than I expected. Luckily, these two little plots that I'm going to plant the potatoes in are not very big, so it won't take too terribly long. And we'll get this done with. We'll finish up the contracts. I would think that Randy should be getting very close to finishing the contract if he's not done already. He may be out there watching YouTube videos again. Tiny has a long ways to go to get that field done. So anyhow, we're going to keep at it and get this knocked out, get these potatoes planted, finish up these contracts, and then I believe we're going to be looking at planting some corn. We'll have to get that in the ground. Keep moving forward. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to click that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope each of you have a blessed day.